This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Theresa Wiggins. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm excellent. It's a great pleasure to connect with you. What part of the world are you in right now?
I am in Massachusetts.
All right.
Just outside of Boston.
All right. Which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
So I work with kids, families, and schools in a number of ways. I'm a parent educator, a mindfulness teacher, and a family engagement educational consultant.
Oh my gosh, how many hats do you wear?
Well, it's funny because it's actually just all drawn together by the concept of working collaboratively for kids.
So who did you learn that from, that ability to care to care so much?
Do you know what? Working with kids just is a part of who I am. It's in my bones. I've just, from a young age, have always found a capacity, a way to work with kids. And then along many paths, I had really some special mentors. And then I pursued formal training and the parts of it that I really love.
Interesting. Now, you're in the Caribbean, right? When you say the village, it's pretty popular, right? But I think from my experience with the United States, it's more like community or community, or if you say, if there's a segmented place, I forgot, a county, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Where did you get village from? Where did that come from? The village parenting.
Well, just the idea that the saying that it takes a village to raise our children, that we can't do it alone. I'm a parent of 3 kids and I need help in this really challenging job. I need to rely on who is in my village, whether it be family members or professionals, educators. So that's the concept there.
Understood. I love it. Definitely fits. Wonderful. Amazing. So where can people reach out and find out more?
So my website would be the main way, which is villageparenting.net. But I also had a great time on another podcast, Le Vital Core Salon, and I'm episode 47, where I have an extensive interview.
All right. It sounds great. Love how you did that. That's a great idea. You come on a 12-minute convo podcast, and you connect others to the one that gives more information. I love that. So villageparenting.net. Tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please, Theresa.
Meditate.
What type of meditation do you do?
I don't know the specific name, but I'm just sitting quietly and connecting with my true self.
How long do you stay down or up or wherever you are?
Honestly, it varies. Sometimes it's very long, but sometimes it's very short. And I've learned the way that I made this a very consistent daily practice is to actually set the bar low. I think we're obsessed, at least in the United States, with setting the bar high, and I think it's I think it's a mistake sometimes. So I only ask myself to do 3 minutes, and it often ends up being longer, but it's not something I can refuse. 3 minutes of calm, still, quiet, and then I take it from there.
That's really cool. The thought picture that popped into my mind was how dare you put ego in being mindful? It definitely doesn't line up.
Correct. Yeah. I just give myself a low bar to connect with that quiet, still place.
That's wonderful. So the children you work with, are they a specific age, or do you work with all children?
I work with all children when I'm teaching mindfulness. Actually, I teach mindfulness pre-K through adult. And then with the behavior management programming that I offer, I'm actually working with the parents. So I work with parents of 2 to 12-year-olds and teach them behavior management skills.
That's wonderful. And this is in the Massachusetts area, yeah?
Actually, anywhere, because I do in person, but I can also work via Skype.
That's wonderful. Wow. Yeah. That's a great idea. All right. How does it make you feel seeing what you've been doing and where you are today from back then, 3 years ago?
You know, it fills me with gratitude, because when I can sit down and meditate and connect, I feel with gratitude. That's all I can say, even in the hardest of times. And I've seen some hard times, and I just, those few minutes a day are a gift.
How has it impacted your children?
Well, when I am, so how I view it is, when I meditate, I'm really increasing my capacity to be mindful throughout the day. And when I am mindful, the people in my environment, including my children, can pick up on that energy and feel that. So it allows me to be more patient with them. It allows me to be aware of what maybe some of their needs are. It allows me to articulate my needs to them. So it just opens up communication.
Amazing audience. Again, you're hearing it live from Theresa Wiggins. Again, you can connect with her via villageparenting.net. Theresa, let's switch gears for a moment now.
Okay.
Let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Theresa, what is your earliest childhood memory?
I have a lot of special memories from my childhood, and it's hard to know exactly which one is the earliest, but one that comes to mind is, well, I should say that I'm the youngest of 7 children, and when I was 2, my oldest sibling, who is my only sister, left for college. So you can imagine when she came home, it was so special, and she couldn't come home many weekends, so when she would come home, I can remember climbing into her bed in the morning and just snuggling with her.
Oh, why do you think this memory is so clear?
Because it just was so nurturing. Like I feel actually physically warm when I think back to that. And I knew she adored me and I adored her, and that's that, you know?
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today, Theresa?
That's an interesting question. Probably wanting to provide that same warmth to others, knowing that I was so loved and cared for by her.
Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind with that memory?
Yeah, please do.
I love the way that mindfulness is, as you said, helps you have a space, which then helps with your children, and it impacts on the communication. And I love the fact that at that tender age, I'm sure you were doing it because you would have had to hold that space between the time she would return and then that love that you would have envisioned, that you would have been expectant of when she returned, was then shared. It's a lot like mindfulness, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Wow.
Yeah. That's neat.
Wow, look at you. And you said you were, what, 2 years at that time? How old
I don't know. I was 2 when she left for college. So I was probably like 3 or 4 when those memories, 3 or 4 when that memory happened. And actually what's really neat is, now that you say that, about 5 or 6 years ago, when I stepped into the world of learning meditation, she and I and one of my brothers went away on a silent retreat together. So it's kind of a full circle moment. Yeah. Yeah.
That's wonderful. All right, my friend. Well, if we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
It's funny. I'm not exactly sure, but looking at the time frame of when that was, I know a favorite song definitely popped up, which is True Colors, the Cyndi Lauper version.
All right. Love it. All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, and I'm still trying to get that Cyndi Lauper song out of my mind because it's challenging, right? Not to sing True Colors when you hear the name of the song. But my friend, please do tell me. I've lost my trend of thoughts. I'm still hearing Cyndi Lauper in my head.
It's a good one. Just go with it.
All right, so we're going to move pretty quickly. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I really lost my thoughts. This is too fun. Do you know the question that I'm supposed to ask now?
Is it, who have I chosen someone?
There we go.
I love it.
Love it. Have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Not formally, no.
Right.
But every time I'm in conversation with someone, I believe I'm learning and that they might be learning too.
Are you married?
Yes.
You said you have 3 children. Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
I do not.
How about 3 hours a week?
3 hours a week, yes.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think I'm coming in under less than 8.
All right. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Theresa Wiggins, what would you say that is?
I would say no one is an expert on being human. Remember to be gentle with yourself and gentle with others.
Love it, Theresa Wiggins. This was such a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Just thanks for listening, and please feel free to connect.
villageparenting.net. Theresa Wiggins, thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you, Angel.
You're welcome.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.